go through our memory verse, Colossians 1:14. En el cual tenemos redención por su sangre, la remisión de pecados. All right, let's read it together as a class. En el cual tenemos redención por su sangre, la remisión de pecados. So this says en el cual, which would be like in whom, in the which is what it would really mean. In the which tenemos. Who knows what tenemos means? You should know that. Tener is the verb, T-E-N-E-R, to have. So tenemos would mean what? We have. So en el cual, in the which, or in whom, tenemos, we have, redención. Who knows what that means? It's just like English, redemption, exactly. In whom we have redemption, en el cual tenemos redención, por su sangre, through his blood, la remisión de pecados. The remission of sins. All right? So let's say it one more time. En el cual tenemos redención por su sangre, la remisión de pecados. And then the vocabulary list, la sangre from the verse means blood. El rey means king. La tierra means earth. El mar, sea. And then we're going to get into some adverbs. Everybody know what an adverb is, right? It's a word that modifies a verb, okay? So we're talking about adverbs like always. You know, it's one thing to do something, but then this is what I do always, okay? And so that's modifying the verb. That's what an adverb means. So these are a few adverbs we're going to learn. Siempre means always. También means also. And todavía, there's supposed to be an accent mark on there. There's a typo on the I. Todavía means still, like you're still doing something. And then perdonar means to forgive, just like our English word pardon. And then caminar means to walk. Entender means to understand. Now, does anybody remember the other word that we learned for to understand? Comprender, right? Comprender, like comprehend. But another word that you commonly hear for understand is entender. So let's get into our grammar today. We're going to learn about the imperfect past tense. Now, there are different kinds of past tenses. We've already learned one of them, and that's the one that uses the helping verbs, okay? Just a quick review. This was called the past participle, okay? Now, with the past participle, we're dealing with a helping verb like I have eaten, I have walked, I have done. It's something that you have done it before, or you've done it in the past, and it gets the helping verb in English, have, right? So if I want to say I have eaten, if you remember in Spanish, it's very easy to form. You're going to use a conjugation of the helping verb, and that conjugation goes like this: has, hemos, han, right? And then you're going to combine that with the past participle form of the verb. So if you want to say I have eaten, it would be yo he, because this is our first person, first, second, third. This is singular and this is plural, okay? Yo he, and then what would this be? The verb is comer, so we're going to isolate it to the stem and the ending, right? And then we're going to throw the ending on ido, right? So, yo he comido is I have eaten. That's a different kind of past tense than we're going to be learning about today. Can somebody grab me the tissue box? I believe it's back there somewhere, or napkins or whatever. So, yo he comido is I have eaten. Okay, what we're going to learn about today is saying I was eating. Okay? Like, for example, when such and such happened, when he walked through the door, I was eating. Okay? Or I was eating yesterday at 2 o'clock when the phone rang. So there's a difference between I have eaten. Have you ever eaten such and such the food? Yes, I was eating. That's called the imperfect, and that's what we're going to learn today. So there are different ways to express things in the past. You could say I ate, I have eaten, I was eating, and so forth. So that was just a quick review of the past tense that we've already learned how to do in Spanish. And if you weren't here for that, just don't worry about it. Just worry about the new thing that we're going to learn today, because that's what we're emphasizing. So the imperfect past tense. It's something that you were doing for an extended period in the past. Okay? Now, if I said I ate a popsicle, that's a finite event. I ate it and it was done. Okay, I was eating a popsicle. That's dragging it out. It's talking about a length of time that I was doing something. Does everybody understand the difference with that? So the imperfect, we're talking about an extended period of time. Okay, we're emphasizing the duration of what I was doing. So there are two kinds of ways to conjugate verbs for imperfect. One of them is going to be your AR verbs, and one of them is going to be your ER and IR verbs. And it's very easy to do the imperfect because let's say we take an AR verb. We'll start with the one that everybody knows, hablar, which means what? To speak, okay? Now, it's the same as the present tense where we separate the stem from the ending. The ending is the AR. And remember, every single verb in Spanish either ends in AR, ER, or IR. So we're going to separate it out into the stem and the ending, okay? So here is our stem, HABL, okay? And just as we always do, we're just going to throw endings on this. So these are very easy. They're very similar to the present tense. In the first person, it's going to be hablaba. So you're throwing on that three-letter ending, habla. Okay? If you're talking second person singular, which would be you were speaking. Okay? That's going to be hablabas. This is going to be hablaba. This is going to be hablábamos. And it's going to get an accent right here. Okay? Hablábamos. And then this one's going to be hablaban. Alright, so we see the stem is the same on all these. We're just throwing these different endings on. Now notice this right here though. Do you see how these two are exactly the same? He was eating and I was eating are exactly the same word in Spanish. So how do you know which one is which? From the context. It's obvious. Sometimes, you could of course just throw the pronoun in front of it. Yo, I was eating. Or, if you wanted to say he, you could throw él and say he was eating. Or, I'm sorry, eating. We're not on eating. That's the next example. I was speaking. He was speaking. Okay? But you don't even necessarily have to do that because usually you can tell from the context what people are talking about. And so just notice that these two are exactly the same. But you can tell that these kind of remind you of the present tense, right? The an, the as, the a, the amos, okay? So it's really not that hard to learn this. You're just throwing in the AB in front of it. You see how it just kind of adds on that AB? Everything else is the same as present tense, except for in the first person, it's an A instead of an O. Because, for example, let me just show you just so you can see the parallel here. In the present tense, it would be what? Somebody call it out to me. Present tense. Hablo. Hablas. Habla. Hablamos. And hablan. Okay? So what's the difference here? All we're doing is we're adding AB. See that? AB. 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 And this is the only one that's different. Got that? Pretty easy. So instead of hablas, it's hablabas. So if you're saying you are speaking right now, it's hablas. You were speaking, hablabas. Okay, so it's not hard at all. You just add that AB. Very easy with AR verbs, right? Any questions? Make sense to everybody? Okay. So you just have to, the only one that's a little tricky is the first person singular, but the rest of it's really easy. Now, the ER and IR verbs are very easy as well. And these have almost no exceptions, is another good thing about this tense, is that there's almost no exception. I know this dragonfly over here is really exciting, but class? No, I'm just kidding. What is that, though?
The moth.
That's too big to be a moth.
Is it?
That's like the size of a dragonfly.
Maybe it's
I
a
don't know what
desert
it is.
moth. It's not a dragonfly. They don't go crazy like that.
Yeah, that's true. It might be the dumbest animal alive because it just keeps slamming its head into that light.
The hummingbird.
A hummingbird.
It's over here.
Did it finally knock itself out?
It's a grasshopper.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they have those flying grasshoppers. One time I was getting gas in Casa Grande, and just a swarm of those things came. It was so weird. Those things are big. Okay, so ER and IR verbs. Let's do a simple verb again, comer, which means what? not to come. It means what? To eat, okay? Now, this one again. How do we divide it? Right here. Stem, ending, okay? So, let's just do the present tense, just to remind ourselves. It would be what? Como, comes, come, comemos, come. And these words can stand alone. This means I eat, you eat, he eats, we eat, they eat, okay? Now, if we're doing the imperfect, I was eating, you were eating, he was eating, we were eating, okay? We're going to go ahead and start with our stem again. C-O-M. Okay, and then we're just going to throw some very basic endings on. And the endings for the ER verbs and the IR verbs are exactly the same. So, this is what we do. Ia. Okay? So we got comía, comías, comía, comíamos, and comían. Okay? So again, not too hard at all. So, again, notice the same thing here. These two are the same, just like with the AR verbs. So with the AR verbs, you know, let's say we were doing the verb perdonar, the one that we're learning today, to forgive, right? Perdonar. It would be perdonaban, would mean I was forgiving, right? Perdonabas, perdonaba, perdonabamos, perdonaba, okay? ER verbs, comía, what does this mean? I was eating. You were eating. He was eating. We were eating, right? And so again, we can see a similarity here with the, the N, S, E. Okay, all these conjugations are similar in Spanish. I mean, no matter what tense you're dealing with, ER, IR, AR, you got to be able to see the similarities here. But this is very useful because there aren't really many exceptions to this. And so, comía, comías, comía, comíamos, comía. Now, let's do an IR verb. It's going to get the exact same endings, okay? Let's do vivir, to live, okay? So, we're going to start with our stem again. And then we're just going to throw these exact same endings on as we did for the ER verb. So what's it going to be in the first person? Yo vivía, right? Tú vivías. Él vivía. Nosotros vivíamos. And then ellos vivían. Okay? So, you can really express a lot now with what we've learned. Because you can use your past participle. Yo he pecado, I have sinned. Tú has pecado, él ha pecado. You can say that. Or you can say what someone was doing in the past for an extended period. So that's the imperfect. So really the main one that we need to learn after this is the preterite, which we're not going to go into today. But the preterite is more of just, I ate. He spoke. It's that tense in English. So does anybody have a question with that? All right, let's try a few sentences then. Who wants to come up and be the volunteer for the sentence? Come on, don't be shy. Who wants to try this? Okay, Garrett, come on up here. We're gonna use one of the words from the vocabulary list. Okay? Todavía, which means still. Okay? And here's what I'll write it on the board for you because that's a new word for us. Okay? This means still. Okay? And I want you to write, we were still eating. We were still eating. Okay? You choose the color. We were still eating. And I'll give you a hint. Throw the todavía on the end. Okay? Throw that on last. So we were still eating. All right, very good. You got it. Just a couple accent marks. Comíamos and todavía. Okay? But very good. Yes. So gross. But yeah, very good. Nosotros comíamos todavía. We were still eating. Okay, does everybody understand that one? Okay, let's go ahead and try another one. Who's the next volunteer? Brad?
Yes, sir.
Want to come up here and do this one?
I'll try one.
Alright. How about this? We're going to do this, and again, the adverbs are going to get thrown on the end. Okay? So I'm going to give you a different adverb, one of the ones that we're learning today, and that's going to be también. Okay? Yeah. So, it's an accent right there. It means as well, also. Okay? You're going to say, he was also walking, okay? And that's another new word, okay? The verb caminar, which means to walk, okay? So, he was also walking, okay? Go. I want to do red.
Alright. An accent mark.
Mm-hmm.
He was also walking.
So you got both words up there to work with.
See if I can remember how to conjugate this. We just did it.
I'll give you a clue. It's got a B in it.
Yeah.
Remember the B?
A-B, right?
Right?
A-B, then A-N,
Well, are we singular or plural on this?
singular.
So,
So just an A.
probably just an A then.
Is there an accent on it?
Nope.
Then, yeah.
Yep, very good. So, in Spanish we would say, él caminaba también. And that means he was also walking. Okay, you got that? So, we're trying to learn how to put this into practice, what we've learned. How to put these into sentences. And the basic sentence structure is going to be, your pronoun, your verb, and then your adverb. Okay? And then we're learning some new ways to express things with these past tense imperfect verbs. So, let's go ahead and try another one. Solomon, come on up here. Bring your chair. Bring the chair to stand on.
Okay,
Let's go, come on.
Watch it.
I'm going to help you out. Come on up here, son.
This.
Okay. I want you to say this. Hold on. How about this? I was drinking. Okay? Do you remember how to say to drink?
No.
Okay, let me throw the verb up here for you. Okay? Beber. Okay? You think you can do this one? There you go.
Try.
I was drinking. Go.
This
Is that marker acting up? Try blue.
Yeah, blue's always good guy.
Okay. Yep. There you go. I was drinking. What are you going to start with? The stem, right? Okay, get your stem out there. All right. Very good, son. Bravo. Exactly right. Yo bebía. Okay, but when you have an accent, you don't have to dot the I. The accent is instead of the dot on the I. So very good, son. Excelente. Yo bebía. Who wants to come up here for an easy one? I'll give you an easy one. Come on up here, Junior. Let's go back to some previous lessons, see what kind of words we're going to use. Okay. Do you remember the verb for to pay? Pagar. Very good. Okay? So, we were paying. Alright? Go. good. You got your stem. Now you just need to throw the ending on. We were paying. Remember, I'll give you the clue. It's got a B in it. You're on the right track, Kevin. Just keep it going, though. Keep flowing. Keep going. You got a few more letters to throw on. Looks good so far. That would be for like he was paying, pagaba, but in order to make it we were paying, okay, nosotros pagaba. You get 3 more letters to throw on there. Now you already got your B. Getting too many B's going. That's if something was a really long time ago. Throw a few extra B's in. Think about this, Junior. What is the, what if you were just in present tense? How would you conjugate pagar in present tense? Just we're paying, like we paid. Yep, exactly, pagamos. So if we're doing the past tense, this is what gets added right here. This is the extra. So finish it off, because you just said what it was in the present tense. Exactly, very good. Bravo. So yeah, the only thing here, right, just throw on that AB. So good job. You want to try one, Matthew? All right, come on up here. You want to do an ER or an AR? Which one are you feeling?
IR.
You want to do one of the IRs? Okay. Let's go. Let's get out the old list here and get some fresh verbs to use. All right, we're gonna throw an IR verb at you. How about? Let's see, trying to make sure it's one that we've done. How about we'll do to open? Okay, and I'll write it up there for you in case you forgot. Abrir. Okay. And here's what you're gonna say. I was opening the door. All right, you got it? Do you know the door? La puerta. Okay? So, I was opening the door. You already knew the door, sorry. Let's go. Start out just I. Yo.
Yo.
You said it.
Yo.
Yo.
What's up? Alright. Try red if you want these pens, or I need new pens. Alright, got it. Yo. I was opening. So we're going to take the verb to open and conjugate it first person, right? Well, start with your stem, because this is our verb right here. Abrir. Okay, so that's the stem, right? That's the ending, right? So start out with your stem. Okay? Throw your stem up there before you mess with any endings. Okay? Close. What's this letter right here?
R.
Okay, that's the unconjugated. We gotta conjugate this thing. Okay? What's the ending for ER and IR verbs? Imperfect.
What?
Remember when we did comer and it was like comía, comías, comía, comíamos, comían? That's what we gotta do with this verb. Abrir is gonna become yo remember comía, comías, okay? This is a different verb though, abrir.
I don't know this one.
Alright, go ahead, have a seat. Thanks for trying. Who wants to help him out with this one? Come on, Brother Wilson. Finish this one off. He was going toward the AR, Abba.
So it's, what's the sense again?
I was opening the door. Yo abría. And then I wrote the word for door up there. I was opening. Alright, well, this means, first of all, we just gotta throw an accent on there, but other than that, you got that word right. Yo abría el puerto means the gate. La puerta, the door, so.
Oh, so I should went.
This is a different word, but
Okay.
it's close. So this is gonna be, at least you made a match though, el puerto. So it's gonna be la puerta means the door. El puerto is a different word. Or actually, you know what? It doesn't mean the gate, it's the port. Like, you know, a ship comes into port, that's puerto. Yeah, that's what it is. Like Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
That means the rich port. So, very good. All right, so does anybody have any questions, or is this making sense? Got it? Anybody else want to come try one? Solomon.
I need an easy one.
I gave you an easy one.
I'm gonna try again.
You want AR or IR?
I'll try AR.
Okay, come on up here.
Actually, IR.
Alright. Hang on, let me get out my IR list. We'll do one that we've already learned. I'm gonna give you an ER, okay?
ER. Okay, I just went to the EIN.
Okay? We're gonna do, let's see here. I don't wanna trip you up here. Okay, comprender, which means what, class?
Understand.
To understand, okay? Comprender. Okay, to understand. Okay? I want you to say, they were understanding the lesson. Okay? And this is the lesson. I'm going to write it for you. Lección. Okay? So they were understanding the lesson. You don't have to write the word they. You can just jump right into the verb. Okay? You don't need the word they. They were understanding the lesson. Go. Get your stem out there, right?
Now I can do the
Keep going.
I
You're
can do they were understood.
They were understanding the lesson.
They were, but I can just chop off the they were.
You don't need the they. Yeah. It's all in that one word you're writing. Just get your stem out there, conjugate it, and you got it. Okay? Because if you say they, it's redundant because you can already tell by the conjugation. Okay, there's your stem. You got it. Now, what's your ending? Very good. You got it, son. Okay? Comprendían la lección. Very good, son. All right. So, comprendían la lección. Now, this is something that we hadn't really talked about, but this combination of letters right here, you know, in English is basically going to sound like our X, right? Lección. So, anybody have any questions? Let's sing our song one more time and we'll be out of here.